And finally, the last of our four guests at this particular junction comes all the way from Aughnacloy in the county of Tyrone. The minder of Sam, the minder of Tom Markham. He would mind anything. One of the all-time greats too. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cuthbert Donnelly. Donal, Keoghan, can we start with you? It's payback time now. You got a bit of stick from the boys there. Tell me when you're finished. You got a little bit of stick from the boys, and McCabe was even giving you a little bit of stick there. What do you say to all of this?
I know, but like, I had the balls to manage my county. Some of them boys hadn't.
There's a general swell of thing around the county that you're good for Cavan football, and down the road, might you reconsider and sometime, manage a county team again?
I suppose managing Cavan is a very stressful job. A lot of expectation, a huge passion to do well, and hopefully we will do well again in Cavan with the right structures in place. But no, I couldn't. It's a very stressful job. An awful lot of critics, an awful lot of people out there sit on the fence and criticise. You know, and some players that have played football in the past, that have been very good senior players in Cavan, have sat on the fence and done nothing about Cavan football. And we're at the bottom in Cavan. And it's sad. I know we're a great night here in Cavan, 25 years in the Meadow, but we have great times. I remember playing with Cavan. We had great crack, but I mean, it's sad to see where we are now. And I know we've had good success around 21 and at minor, but I mean, that's no ingredients to say we're going to we're going to do well going forward. But no, not a chance of ever managing Cavan again.
Den, maybe Den, you never know.
Never again.
Aogan, holding high office, and I suppose the one question, you're near the end of your term, and you have presented Cavan players with Ulster titles, and it'd be nice to go the whole way. Is it an ambition of yours to one day succeed, get to the high office?
No, definitely not. Ambition for me is to see Cavan win in All-Ireland, and I think that will happen. The passion for Cavan football is absolutely brilliant, and it's lovely to see it here tonight. I mean, in the middle of what's supposed to be a recession in this country, the GAA still brings people out, brings people together. So the highest point for me in GAA has been what you've just mentioned, being able to present a Cavan team with the minor Ulster Championship, and 2 years in a row, which is very, very unusual for Cavan to win the Ulster Under-21. That was absolutely tremendous, and I think there's great hope and great spirit and great life in Cavan, and that was a tremendous honour and a great achievement. Delighted to be part of it, and looking forward now to Donegal winning an All-Ireland, because we'll all lift it. I'm delighted to see that the Sheridan family, and I congratulate them on this night. It's lovely to see that on their banner, on their logo, they're proudly displaying not only the Cavan colours, but the Ulster colours and the club colours. And even listening to the lads on the stage there, it was nice to note that bond there is between club, county and province in Ulster. And it was also nice to know that a small club like Fearghail was able to help two very innocent and two very shy McEnany fellas from Corduff, and brought them under their wing and helped them along. That type of help of Cavan helping Monaghan. It's nice to have heard that tonight.
And you're probably a little disappointed that it wasn't Drumgoon they went to.
Yeah, well, if they have Gassens themselves, I'd like to think that we might look after them in Drumgoon.
Jason, you scored a spectacular goal. You remember it well. Recreate it for us now. The one that I'm really talking about. You've scored several.
Yeah, I suppose at the time it was great, and that I suppose the excitement was coming on, and that, and the crowd in Clonus, but I suppose the last thing Martin said to me, we need a goal, so I suppose the chance came to me, and thank God we went in.
Can I ask you a very personal question? Well, I'm going to ask it anyway. At that game, was Aisling at that game?
She was, yeah.
And is that why you pulled your jersey over your head so you could show her your chest?
Yeah.
And they're married since. How is Ben?
Not a bother, thank God.
Yes, he has a young son called Ben, who is what? He's one, so that deserves a round of applause. For the benefit of the people who don't know, on 3 occasions, during the noughties. This gentleman here was what was known as the minder of Sam, and he was everywhere, from Aughnacloy to Cavan to America. You were all over the world. Ladies and gentlemen, give a big bullabus because you've been very good to a lot of clubs in Cavan. Cuthbert Donnelly.
Thank you very much, Owen. Thank you.
What does the job minder of Sam and, as it happened, the Tom Markin Cup mean to you?
I suppose it was the honour of doing it, Owen. It's a great honour. First of all, as Cavan people know, because they done it before anybody else, the great honour of getting Sam to your county number one, but to get the privilege of looking after it was just absolutely fantastic. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. And my job was to be with it, no matter where it went, I was with the cup.
Now, is there any truth in the rumour that when you went abroad on a flight, that a seat had to be booked for Sam as well as yourself?
That's correct. I suppose one of the most notable one was we were going over to a football club in Manchester, and it was a fella called, he's from St Pat's and Donal in Kevin Fitzpatrick in Fermanagh, and Philomena Begley was playing at the function that night. So we went to the airport in Belfast, and they sent the tickets over, and there was the 3 tickets that came, and the 3 tickets were for Philomena Begley, Sam Maguire and Cuthbert Donnelly. Went to the reception, where you check in and all that there in those times. There was no electronic checking up in those times. Went up and they asked for your passport or your driving licence. I showed my passport. Philomena Begley, honest to God, her name was wrong because on her driving licence she's Philomena Quinn. So we got through that one. And then the lady behind the desk, she didn't come from Cavan or she didn't come from Tyrone, but she didn't know much about Irish anyway, but she says, passport, I want passport for Sam Maguire. And I said, no, Sam Maguire is a trophy. Oh, no, she says, passport. And she got very, very crabbed and cross, and people were behind, they were getting agitated, and there was other people just laughing. And then she turned around and she says, but then no driving licence. Give me driving licence, she says. And after that, whenever I told that story, anyway, we got over it because there was a girl on a stand down below it who I knew, and she came up and she explained about the trophy. And having that seat, the trophy must sit on the seat at the aisle. Sorry, at the window. It's not allowed to sit at the aisle because if there was any emergency, nobody could get past it. You had to be strapped in. So a good friend of mine, Kieran Kennedy of O'Neill's Sportswear, Kieran got a box made for it. And the cup fitted exactly into the cup, and there never was any more problem. The cup could go in the hold of the plane. And since that, Croke Park tried to do the same, and they couldn't get a box made for it. So Croke Park now have that particular box they asked for it.
And finally, the one question that everybody wants to know. When you had Sam at home in the house, where did you keep it?
I always, no matter when I kept it at home, it always was beside the bed. Never. And whenever I went abroad, it went beside the bed.
And was it ever used for anything other than being a Sam Maguire cup?
Definitely never anything. But people always say to me, and I'm going to stop at this here because I could talk from now to tomorrow night about my experiences with the cup. But I always want to say, and I think this to bring it home to everybody, what the cup means to all the people throughout the country, was this particular night I come home from Roscommon. I arrived home at 4:30 in the morning. The following morning I had to be in Derry in the Foyle Hospice at 9 o'clock. I arrived there, I was met by Bishop Daly at the door. He says, are you Cuthbert Donnelly? I said, I am. He says, Dr. McGinley's waiting for you. And the Dr. McGinley came, met me, and he said, look, he says, you have to take a cup of tea. Have you ever been in a hospice before? I said I had. I'd been in Uri and before with bitten patients. And he said, you're going to now meet 45 people that are on death sentences. Those 45 people had cancer and they were dying. And that's what I say, the enjoyment that cup brought to those people never could be replaced by money, by excitement or anything else like it. The following week, there was 5 of them had went to their eternal reward. And that was the enjoyment that I got out of it. We were bringing the happiness to people.
You shared your time and your energy and Sam with people. Ladies and gentlemen, Cuthbert Donnelly, Jason O'Reilly, Aogan Farland, Donal Keoghan. Let's hear it for them one more time.